Tell me what happened with the AP. Give me what's going on here.
So
it's just us, right? It's just us. Okay.
Well, I really would love to answer this question, but upon driving over here from the White House, I actually learned that I have been sued by the Associated Press.
Oh, that means, okay, we cannot, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, personally?
We'll see them in court.
Wait a second, personally?
Yes. Yes.
See, this is what these people do. It's called lawfare. You can't say it. I'll say it. It's called lawfare, people. That means I'll probably get sued in the next 30 minutes or so. Okay, keep going.
So I wanted to get the White House counsel on the phone before taking this stage to see what I can and cannot say.
I really can't say anything.
But look, we feel we are in the right in this position, and I said in my first briefing at the podium, we are going to ensure that truth and accuracy is present at that White House every single day.
We know that everything Donald Trump touches and every person he surrounds himself with eventually runs into legal trouble when you are a criminal. You are bound to hang out with criminals. And if you are not yet a criminal, when you join Donald Trump, you are bound to be. You are going to be breaking the law. You are going to be acting in corrupt ways somehow. At some time, it always catches up to you. And that is exactly what happened to someone who we've really grown to dislike on this show. That is Donald Trump's press secretary, Carolyn Levitt, who just got her first taste of what it's like when you surround yourself with the worst people in America, because she was just hit with a major lawsuit from what has become one of Donald Trump's biggest enemies in his entire administration, the free press. And we are going to get into all of that. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way. And it really does mean a lot to me now, before we get into this lawsuit and how Levitt reacted. And it was really upsetting and just ridiculous how she reacted first. I want to hear Trump going after the AP, the group now, personally suing Carolyn. Love it.
Take for you to reconsider the restrictions on the Associated Press. And secondly, some of your advisors are concerned with the Associated Press's style guide, using language and giving guidance to not use words like illegal immigrant or to use phrases like gender affirming care. And they're concerned about that being an encroaching amount of liberalism in the way in which the press writes about things. Do you share those concerns?
Well, I do think that some of the phrases that they want to use are ridiculous. And I think, frankly, they become obsolete, especially in the last 3 weeks, because many things have happened in the last 3 weeks. And I didn't know about that, but I would say that if they want to use certain phrases like that, and I guess some are okay, but many aren't, but the Associated Press just refuses to go with what the law is and what is taking place. It's called the Gulf of America now. It's not called the Gulf of Mexico any longer. I have the right to do it, just like we have the right to do Mount McKinley, and nobody's even challenging that. But only the essentially, it's primarily the Associated Press, and I don't know what they're doing, but I just say that we're going to keep them out until such time as they agree that it's the Gulf of America. We're very proud of this country, and we want it to be the Gulf of America. Now,
So, of course, the AP has filed a lawsuit against Donald Trump's White House. But now they have filed a personal lawsuit with Carolyn Levitt, and that really just cracks me up. I think that's pretty funny. Obviously, she did not take it that way. She is a little bit upset that there's repercussions for her actions. MAGA loves to talk about how much they care about free speech, but clearly, really what they mean is they just don't want to be held accountable for what they say or what they do. And they also don't want to be held accountable by a free press. They don't want others to be able to comment when they are corrupt, when they are criminals, when they break the law, and when they break our government. And Carolyn Levitt was actually live at CPAC after she received the information. The news that she was again personally being sued by the Associated Press. And her reaction is exactly what you'd expect. Angry and with some blame for one specific individual.
Okay, so let's talk about the Gulf of America. Okay, Okay, tell me what happened with the AP. Give me what's going on here.
So
it's just us, right? It's just us. Okay.
Well, I really would love to answer this question, but upon driving over here from the White House, I actually learned that I have been sued by the Associated Press.
Oh, that means, okay, we cannot. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, personally?
We'll see them in court.
Wait a second, and personally?
Yes. Yes.
See, this is what these people do. It's called lawfare. You can't say it. I'll say it. It's called lawfare, people. That means I'll probably get sued in the next 30 minutes or so. Okay, keep going.
So I wanted to get the White House counsel on the phone before taking this stage to see what I can and cannot say.
I really can't say anything.
But look, we feel we are in the right in this position, and I said in my first briefing at the podium, we are going to ensure that truth and accuracy is present at that White House every single day. And one of the changes that we made, President Trump ran a non-traditional media strategy on the campaign trail, and he owned it, and he did podcasts, the Theo Von podcast, the Joe Rogan podcast. He went places that no other politician has ever wanted to go, and it helped him earn votes, it helped him earn support, and we wanted to continue that approach at the White House. So we've added the new media seat in the White House briefing room.
That's been fantastic.
Thank you.
Yes.
We are inviting podcasters and influencers and independent journalists who aren't constrained by this legacy media bias to join us. They deserve the privilege of covering the President of the United States just as much as any other legacy media outlet who has spewed lies about President Trump for years.
Lies about President Trump, lies about the people who work for President Trump, lies against people like yourselves. This is what the media, so many in the media have done. I'm not saying all of them, because there are some good eggs out there for sure. But there is definitely the sense that they drove this narrative, that they pushed this leftist agenda. Didn't they forget to talk about Biden's mental decline for quite some time?
Yeah. That was a narrative that they just ignored, I guess, the cover-up of the century.
What were they doing? Sitting out there in the White House just like eating popcorn and going, yeah, why isn't he coming out to speak to us? And they didn't cover it.
And I was so glad that Stephen Miller called out the press yesterday in the briefing. I'm not sure if you guys saw that. But he said many of the people in that room covered up Biden's mental incompetence. And he is right. And if you talk to these reporters off the record, that's the worst part about it. They won't report on it, but they will tell you off the record to your face that they knew Biden was incompetent.
Yeah,
that the White House staff sometimes weren't showing up until noon. No work was being done. Nobody knew who was in charge. We all knew the truth in this room, and they tried to tell us, don't believe your lying eyes. He's, has all this energy and spirit. It was always a lie, and shame on the media for peddling it.
Ken,
I am sorry that I had to subject you to watching that whole clip, but I just wanted to see it all in context. The fact that Carolyn Leavitt is able to spin the AP filing a lawsuit against her is a personal lawsuit, like she said, against her for the actions that the full Trump administration has taken to go after them, really just kind of use their power to what, as we expect, push down the free press. The fact that she was able to spin that into a complaint about Joe Biden is the type of shameless lying and really just BSing that is required to be in this Trump administration. It's almost commendable. If it wasn't so ridiculous, how is this Joe Biden's fault? It's like the clip that we saw yesterday with Donald Trump speaking to governors across America when he said, eggs are really going up, but I'm not going to take the blame for anything for a couple of months. We just going to say that's Joe Biden's fault. He left us a booming economy. And everything was pretty much safe and sound. But now that there's problems because of my tariffs and like eggs are being trafficked across the border because it's so bad, yeah, it's going to be on Joe Biden. How are we still blaming Joe Biden for things? And also, are you saying the press did not speak enough about President Biden's? It was literally all they talked about. It was the only thing they talked about. President Biden would cap insulin at $35 a month, and they'd be like, Joe Biden turns a day older, and then in much smaller font as he caps insulin at $35 a month. It is a ridiculous notion. All of this is crazy, especially coming out of the most pro-censorship presidential administration we've ever seen. And it's something that Jasmine Crockett called them out for a great clip right here.
Elon Musk boosted false USA conspiracy theories to shut down global aid. Now, while he was boosting those lies about U.S. aid and he was stopping money going for, say, things such as Head Start, somehow the only money that didn't stop was the money to him and his organization. Now, I don't know how you can have him be the watchdog as well as the guy that is literally living off of the government. If we want to talk about government welfare, it looks like Elon Musk, because it's my understanding that just on yesterday, a new contract was approved for approximately $300 million for Elon Musk. So listen, I just want y'all to be honest. You want to sit here, you want to lie, because so often we hear, well, yeah, we did lie. In fact, he admitted that he lied when he was in the Oval Office yesterday. But if it's a lie that will get you into office, such as saying, I know nothing about Project 2025, yet on day one, you literally do everything that you can to implement it, including making sure that you put, say, one of the main architects of Project 2025 over the OMB, it's okay, so long as you get the power that you seek. The problem is that the game is going to be on the American people. And when I say the American people, I mean all of us. Unfortunately, now, while he was boosting those lies about U.S. aid and he was stopping money going for, say, things such as Head Start, somehow the only money that didn't stop was the money to him and his organization. Now, I don't know how you can have him be the watchdog as well as the guy that is literally living off of the government. If we want to talk about government welfare, it looks like Elon Musk, because it's my understanding that just on yesterday, a new contract was approved for approximately $300 million for Elon Musk.
These people are just shameless and ridiculous, especially when Elon Musk will literally kick like Trump supporters off of Twitter. He'll remove their blue check marks. He'll suppress their account. I always feel like my account is probably getting suppressed. I don't know. Maybe it's just because so many people have left Twitter. I wouldn't be shocked. I actually don't care how many likes my tweets get. It's just mostly for me to scream into the abyss at 3 a.m. But this is so much of what we see is the censorship and also the elevation of the misinformation. Bernie Sanders had a really good rant about this when he was talking about how Elon wants to push out all this misinformation, specifically about Social Security, so that people will eventually go, well, I guess all the government is broken. I guess we got to get rid of it all, which is what they want you to think. And it's the lie that we have to push back against. It's only broken when Republicans are breaking it. That is their whole thing. They tell you government doesn't work, so they can get into government and try to make it not work. Why? Because they want to privatize Social Security. They want to privatize Medicare. They want to get rid of all the programs that are most important to keeping people alive, said educated, so that they can write another big tax cut to their billionaire buddies. That's what that's all about. It's just a big old plan for them. It's not a conspiracy theory when it's true, and we're going to keep calling it out every single day on the show. And if you want to support that, as always, you hit that subscribe button. You can leave a like on this video. And if you stuck around at the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.